probably the coolest animation they've ever done for an event. I'm a little bummed I got my notification for the Apple event a little bit late. I heard about it and read about it on Twitter before I got my invite. What's up, Apple? Anyway, now that it's been announced on October 18th, there's going to be a new event, and I'm not going to say that there's going to be new MacBook Pros announced, but come on, everybody knows there's going to be MacBook Pros announced. Actually, nobody knows. But this guy right here, Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, he is the one that spreads all these news and leaks. So let's listen to him talk about it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I know the sources or the truth or that I talked to Tim Cook. No, I don't get paid by Tim Cook. I just like to do these tests, and I'm gonna grab one of these machines as soon as it comes out so we can do the comparisons on this channel with the M1, with the Intels. Is it even worth doing any more comparisons with the Intel machines? Probably not. But we will compare the performance benefits that we're gonna get with the M1 going to the M1X or whatever it's gonna be called, the M2. So if you wanna see some of those developer-related tests on this channel, hit that subscribe button. Now let's see what Mark Gurman has to say. Ready? Here we go.
Meantime, Apple just announced it's having another event coming up later this week. Next week, I should say. What do we know about that? Will it affect any other Apple products?
So on October 18th, next Monday, Apple will hold an event. They're calling it the Unleashed event. This is going to be another virtual affair given the ongoing impact of COVID. This is where they're going to announce the first revamp to the MacBook Pro in 5 years.
First revamp to the MacBook Pro in 5 years. Not only is it going to get a brand new chip inside, hopefully, but also it's going to be a redesign.
I can't tell you how many questions I've gotten from people about when this new MacBook Pro is going to come. In fact, I think if I was given 1 penny for every question I got about this new MacBook Pro, I'd probably be able to get one at no charge. People want this thing, they're anticipating it, and this is going to be the first high-performance Mac with an in-house.
I gotta say, he's right. The excitement about this machine are insane. Given what we've seen so far from the M1's performance in the last year, these machines are expected to be way faster, more performant in every single way possible. Graphics, CPU cores, bigger screens, bigger RAM, you name it.
Apple design processor.
So talk to us about what else Apple has coming up this year. Obviously, every holiday season is a big holiday season for Apple, but dealing with these production challenges is a new wrinkle.
This is definitely a new wrinkle. If you take a look at Apple's website or visit an Apple retail store, you'll know that the vast majority of Apple products at this point, in terms of their major devices, are facing supply shortages. That MacBook Pro I just mentioned, well, the current model is facing issues, as are other Macs. The new iPad mini is seeing deliveries into next month. The Apple Watch Series 7, you're already seeing wait times quoted into December or even January in some cases, depending on where you're buying it. If you order an iPhone 13 Pro or Pro Max today from Apple's website, you're going to be quoted a shipping time from over a month from now. Likewise, if you visit an Apple retail store, the new iPhone is hard to come by. This is expanding to other devices. So the big challenge for the balance of this year is Apple going to figure out how to get the new devices into consumer hands. And to answer your other question, beyond the MacBook Pro and the existing devices, look for new versions of the AirPods to be introduced before the end of the year as well.
You know what this means is MacBook Pros are going to be not only faster, but more expensive than we'd expect. This is just my guess, but I think they're going to be way more expensive than we've ever anticipated.
And what other companies, devices from other companies will be impacted? I mean, obviously it's not just Apple.
Right, you see Google is going to announce the Pixel 6. That's their new phone next week, actually October 19th on Tuesday, so a day after Apple's announcement. So we'll be taking a look if they're going to have a supply chain crunch related.
Google is announcing their new devices the day after Apple. That's funny.
To that product as well. Amazon announced a slew of new devices a couple of weeks ago, including the Home Robot, a new Echo Show 15 for your wall, and those have shipping times quoted at the very end of this year or into next year as well. So clearly this is a problem affecting all the major consumer devices makers.
So what are you going to be watching for next?
I just went to get my oil change at Toyota, and they told me they were running behind because of supply chain issues. I guess that could be possible.
Yeah, I mean, the next big thing I'm watching for is looking into next year about Apple's augmented reality and virtual reality headset plans. That is indeed the next big major...
All right, folks, that's interesting. AR and VR from Apple. I'd like to see what they come out with.
Launch from Apple. They were hoping to start discussing that product publicly this year. Obviously, that's not something they want to introduce virtually. This is the biggest new major category from Apple.
Apple introduces VR virtually.
7 years since the original Apple Watch. They want to make a big splash. So I believe that will be introduced sometime next year. And this is a really interesting story for consumers, for developers, and the industry about how Apple is going to be able to tie everything together into a brand new product category and really take a category of device, VR, that's really niche at this point and try to take it mainstream. And I think it's going to take some time for Apple to pull it off, but they're certainly going to try.
Well, if anybody can pull off taking VR mainstream, Apple can do it, I think. All right, then the ad starts, and I think we get the point from this video. What I really wanted to hear about was the stuff about MacBook Pros. So I don't know what's going to be announced. Those are just all speculations and guesses, but Mark Gurman is one of the top leak spillers on this topic. If anybody's to be listened, I guess it would be him. Anyway, let's watch this topic closely. I'll update you next week what happens. You'll probably know already, but we'll do a review. Thanks, folks. I'll talk to you later.